some reason, we led there with a report about Brady playing based on a screwed-up report by Schefter saying he was thinking about retiring. So we react to a non-story with a lead with a 3:30 update. I mean, did Steve Turry write that? Oh, my God. Here is Huck in Missouri. He's with us here on Mad Dog on Lee. I'm in one of those moods today, so here we go. Huck, take it away. You're first today. How are you, pal? Okay?
I'm doing good, Chris, man. Doing real well. Good to talk to you as always, pal.
Good to have you aboard, Huck. Let me hear. What's up?
Sometime today or maybe sometime this week, you got to give me more take on Breaking Bad. You just said you finished it last week and it was a great show, and that's pretty much all you give us. So maybe if you get a little free minute later
I will.
on,
I'll give you some. I'll give you some Breaking Bad, and I'll give you Andre the Giant too, which I watched. Have you seen that yet on HBO?
Yes, I did. I caught that last week. I thought that was really good.
Very
I would have
good.
liked a little bit more of his family angle. Like to have seen the daughter maybe a little bit more, get more of an idea of what he was like as far as family. A little more family and a little less Vince McMahon. But I did. I thought it was really
They didn't. Bill Simmons did a good job with it. All right, go ahead. Next. Fire away.
Now, I told you last Friday, a week ago, that I wasn't going to pay a whole lot of attention to the NBA in the first couple of rounds because I thought, just like I told you at Halloween, that I personally thought that it was Golden State, Cleveland, and I just didn't think there was a whole big point in getting hooked on it because that's my opinion. I didn't think that any other teams could win. I bought into Houston 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I'm starting to wish I hadn't now. With the D'Antoni comments last week, and now with Harden coming out.
What did D'Antoni say?
He basically said, he come out and said that if they lose in the Western Conference Finals, that it wouldn't be a failure. Do it.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I didn't hear. D'Antoni said that? I didn't see that quote. Wow.
Yeah, that was towards the middle of last week, first of the week.
You can't say that. Now, when you win 65 games and your team and that style and Harden hasn't done a damn thing ever in a big spot, you have to win the NBA championship. What did Harden say?
Harden basically said last night that they're not in a rhythm, that they haven't been in a rhythm in 2 or 3 weeks. I just think they're just making excuses because I think, Chris, deep down that James Harden and D'Antoni and Chris Paul, I think deep down they know that if Golden State is all four of those guys are hitting on all cylinders, they've got no chance to beat them. I think they know that, and I think with D'Antoni's comments last week and I think with what was said here in the last couple of days, I think they're just setting up for if they lose, they got an out. Now, that's just me.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about Harden. I think D'Antoni might be looking down the road. You might be right about that. All right, schedule. Let me hear. Go ahead.
Listen, if they want to get me to watch, I don't understand why Golden State and San Antonio was on at 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. I've got nothing going on a Sunday afternoon. I was actually primed to watch some basketball. Why would you put Golden State, San Antonio, a series that San Antonio's got no chance of winning, and put Cleveland, Indiana on at night, a good series that could go either way? Why is Cleveland and the Bronx should be playing at 3 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon, that series? And if you want to bury a series, bury Golden State and at night. I don't get it.
That's something I'd have to consider. I'd have to think about that. TNT has the Western Conference Final, and ESPN has the East. Maybe they wanted to give ESPN some Western Conference games. Golden State obviously is a defending champ. Spurs are a big team. The Bay Area, LeBron's the biggest player, though. They had Cleveland last week. That's a very good question. They can't make that decision after the Spurs fall behind 3-0. They had to make that decision prior to that. And the Spurs fell behind 3-0, I believe, on Thursday. They got to set that schedule up, a week or so before that. So that can't be based on Golden State up 3-0. They have to decide, before the playoffs start, where they want to send their guys and which network televises which series in the weekend windows. So I don't think it was done spur of the moment. I'd have to figure out why they, in fact, decided to go that direction. Mike in South Carolina, he's a Thunder fan. Michael, good afternoon. How are you today?
Well, Chris, first, it's a pleasure to follow Brother Huck. I got to meet him about a month or so ago in South Carolina. Outstanding young man, and as usual, great call. Chris, listen, I'm telling you right now, before I get to my Thunder, I agree with you 100% on the 76ers. And you know what I'm glad to see, Chris, is that's one Double J Redick playing good ball. let me tell you, you know how many Duke players have failed in the NBA, that they had all that hype? This kid had no hype coming in the NBA. He's done a good job.
Yeah, he's had a good career. He's done, he's a starting player on a championship level team. That You know what he is? He's not as good as Ainge, but he would play. But he's that kind of guy. If you had a really good point guard, he could do that. Go ahead.
And he did a good job with the Clippers, too. So he did a lot better than I thought he would. Chris, I'm so disappointed, but I've been disappointed with these. It's the blunder, not the thunder. It's like they'll play awesome basketball for 4 or 5 minutes, and then they're just terrible to watch, out of control. It's not going to happen. If they lose this next one, they're done. And they're done even when they go to play Houston, Chris. And it's not going to happen for this squad. We lost the Beard, who's an MVP. We lost, Durant, who's an MVP. And we had everything set up. And it's kind of like how Philly has it set up, Chris. But, injuries and stuff can take it away. But it's hard to watch. And I've been disappointed. Tell me something, Chris, before you cut me off. Has Carmelo Anthony ever hit a big shot in a big game?
Fair.
Stepped up.
Fair.
I'm sick of it, Chris.
Yeah,
I'm so disappointed with these guys.
Yeah.
Very disappointed.
Well, I got a long way to go yet. They're not out of that series yet by any stretch. And I do think even if they lost tonight, I wouldn't rule them coming out. All it takes is one road win. They did win a game this year in Golden State. The problem with Oklahoma City is, there's no in between. They're either really good or they're so-so. I mean, they don't figure out a way to win a game when they're off. And Anthony is you're 100% right. Not a winning player. Never has been. 18 in front of the hour. We continue here on Mad Dog Unleashed.